Hi Flosstube friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Chris. Today is Tuesday, September 30th, and I'm here today to share my stitching with you for the month of September. If you're new here, welcome. I'm glad you stopped by, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you. I always appreciate you guys and all of your support. So yeah, I had mentioned in my last video that I was going to my annual fall retreat with a bunch of my friends in September, and I did, and that was great. We had a great time. The organizer of the event often commissions me to make bags, sort of as goodie bags for the retreat. So we did that again this year, so I thought it would be fun to show you the bags that we did. So this is the fabric line that we used. So this is a Tilda fabric. It's called Sanctuary. It's kind of giving off in a forest grew kind of vibes to me, all the trees and the little animals. We had 3 colorways, so there was sort of this caramely brown colorway, and there was one with a cream background and one with sort of a greeny gray background. So we just sort of made some in each color, and people could pick the ones that they liked. So this is my bag. The other thing that I did, I usually like to try, if I can, if I have time or an idea, I often like to try to make like a gift for everybody. So I had made these little covered button needle minders. So I just used scraps of the fabric where the little animals were and made a bunch of those. And again, people could just pick which one they wanted, and some people picked one to match their bag, and some people just picked one of the ones that they liked. So that was my gift for everybody. So then I also participated in the Smalls Exchange, which I had shared in my last video. I hadn't started yet, but I did start it, and I finished it, and I fully finished it. This, you'll maybe remember this. This is one of my stitch pieces that I fully finished earlier this year. This is from one of the Friend Stitch virtual retreats that they have done. It's kind of a collab between Heart and Hand and Bent Creek. All the designers from those designers. And this was our pre-stitch that we stitch ahead of time, and then during the virtual retreat there was a segment where they showed how to fully finish it, and they gave us all of these bits and pieces to do that. So this was mine that I had made, but I just thought this was a really cute little fall pattern, and I thought it would make a fun little Smalls Exchange. So I stitched it up, but I turned it into a pillow this time. So I'll put a photo in of my finished piece. So I didn't have any of the fun, the little, this is like a lady dot. Oh my goodness, the word has escaped me. This trim, pom-pom trim. I didn't have any more of that pom-pom trim. They just gave us enough basically to finish this. So I wanted to come up with a creative way to finish the edges. And I had thought about trying to make cording, or, you know, I have some twine that I thought would kind of go with the rustic fall feel. But then I had this idea that I wanted to try a blanket stitch around the edges. So that's what I did. I used a matching floss and did a blanket stitch all the way around the edges just to see how it worked and what it looked like. And I felt it was kind of like a little bit different than some of the stuff you see. And yeah, it turned out pretty good. So I was pretty happy with the way it turned out. And then I'll put a picture in here. Is another little thing I included. I made these little felt pumpkins, and I made one, and it turned out way better than I thought it was going to, and I fell in love with it, and I thought, well, I want one for myself, so I made some more. So this is the one that I included with the gift, and then I threw in a couple other little things. So that was my small, and my friend Shelby actually picked my small, and she was really happy because she said that it kind of fits her decorating style. So she was really happy with that. And then the small that I received, ironically, was Shelby's small that she had created. So it was actually a pair of pears. Oh, they're so adorable. I love these. Blue is one of my favorite colors. They're so beautifully finished. I love this fabric that she chose to put on there. And then the cute little stem and the little wool felt leaves. So that one's sort of like just a pattern, and this is the alphabet. So yeah, these are so cool. I was so excited. I have them over on my kitchen counter, so whenever I walk by, I see them and they just make me smile because I think they're so cool. This is something I always admire when I see people stitching these, but it was something I didn't know that I would ever stitch myself. So now I have some pairs. I have a pair of pairs, so thanks, Shelby. So yeah, the retreat was great. It's always fun. It's a great group of people. It's just a relaxed weekend. It's catered. So yeah, somebody's making our meals for us. We could just stitch all day and it's great. So I had a great time. So I miss everybody if you're watching. So that's kind of it for the summation. I think I'm just going to jump right into my stitching now. So the first thing I'm going to start with is my focus project. And up until now, I've had two focus projects, my walk with dog and Weimaraner. But last video I'd said I was going to put walk with dog on the back burner to give me a little bit more time to focus on Weimaraner, because I'd really like to try to get it done for my sister before the end of October, because that's when her birthday is. Unfortunately, that hasn't, I've sort of been working on other things, but you'll see as I go along. But so I will put in a picture of where Weimaraner would have been the last time that you saw it. And here is where he is now. So yeah, so I've got quite a bit done. Where those threads are part, that sort of just carries down to the bottom, and that's kind of the edge of where it ends. And then I just have to go back up and do the rest of his ear up there. So yeah, he's coming along really good. I think I'm maybe like at 80% done. But yeah, he's looking really good. So I'm excited to get him finished. I still don't know if I'll have him finished before the end of October, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So, I don't think I may or may not have put up a picture of what it will look like when it's finished. But the designer is Pattern Maker Designs. That's a shop on Etsy. And I'm stitching it on a 32 count Harmony by hand dyed by Rolanda, with all of the called for DMC. Alrighty, so let's go to weekly whips. So the first week this month, I pulled out my gold collection, Thunder Ridge, to put a little bit more work in on this. Got a bit of a rocky relationship with this pattern. I love this pattern, and a huge thank you to Dina at Sit Stay Stitch, formerly known as Half Stitch Cross Stitch, because she thought of me when somebody donated this to her stitching group, and she sent it to me. But the first time when I started it, I had made a counting error, so I had to take quite a bit out. And I think I decided it was down in this grass area. I forget where I made the mistake, but it was down in here. I had to take a bunch of this out. So I think then when I took it out, I stitched this horse. But this time I thought I'd go back and try and do a bit down in that grassy area. So I'll put a picture of where it would have been the last time you saw it. And here is where it is now. So yeah, so this horse I had done the last time. So I just worked down here in this grassy area, which is a little bit tricky because there are quite a few color changes in there. There's some blends in there. So yeah, it was kind of slow going, but at least I've got that part started for the next time I picked it up. So yeah, Thunder Ridge. So this is a Dimensions kit, obviously, and that's an 18 count Navy Ada, and I'm stitching it with the kit threads. The next weekly whip that I picked up was Forever Wild, which I don't have the cover picture with me. It's a Janlynn kit, and I was stitching it on an 18 count light blue Ada that came in the kit with all of the kit threads, and I actually finished this. I took this with me to the retreat, and my goal was to try and finish it. So I did, and I found a frame that I think I'm going to use for it. This also, I believe, will be a gift for my sister. Sorry for the glare. Her horse that she has is a Palomino, so yeah, I finished that while I was at the retreat. And again, stitching this grass, prairie grass, or whatever it is that these horses are running through is no joke. It's a little bit of a challenge. So there was a lot more backstitch on this, but I wasn't sure if it needed it, and it was old school backstitch that sort of followed every stitch, so it was sort of jig-jaggy, which I'm not a fan of. I did put the back stitches in under their necks and along this leg just to define that a little better, but I kind of did long stitches and couched them so that there'd be a little bit of definition, but yeah, so there it is. So this is my backup. If I don't get Weimaraner done by her birthday, I'll give her this for her birthday, and I'll save Weimaraner for Christmas, but we'll see how things go. I'd still prefer to give her the Weimaraner for her birthday, but we'll see. So then the next one that I worked on was my Birds and Berries series. So this is a series of 4 birds, and I've completed 3 of them, and I had 1 left, and it was this blue bunting that I had been working on. And I took him to retreat, and I also finished, oh, I'll put a picture where he was before. Spoiler. And I finished him. So there he is. So pretty. I love all the colors in this one, the blues. Did I call him indigo bunting? I'm sorry, I'm not sure what I called him, but it's an indigo bunting. I might have called him blue bunting. But yeah, so this is the indigo bunting. And again, if you're new, when I've done these, I've decided to take off this outer stuff in the border and just stick with the other. But I really wanted the name of the bird and the berry that's with them. So I just did a little backstitch type alphabet down at the bottom to spell out those words. So that's the 4th one. So I'll show you the other ones. So the last one that you would have seen would have been the yellow warbler. I just finished him the last video. And then this robin, which I'm pretty sure I started at last year's fall retreat. It's the American robin. And then the first one that I ever did and finished was the cardinal, the northern cardinal. So that's the 4 of them completed. My plan, I want to get some sort of a frame that I can easily switch them in and out, and then I'm going to switch them out seasonally. So the cardinal is going to be one I'll have out during the winter. The robin will be spring. The yellow warbler is going to be fall, because he's kind of got autumn colors. And then the indigo bunting is going to be summer. And that's how I'm going to display them. So I'm just on the hunt right now for the right size of frame and the color of frame that I think I want to use. So yeah, so those guys are done. Yay! That's 2 finishes. Go me. Sorry, I'm running out of room here. There we go. So those were all stitched on a 32 count natural raw linen with the called for DMC and Gentle Arts. I actually started that series in March of 2023 and I finished it in September 2025. So that has opened up a little bit of a spot for a new series, but I'm not ready to start anything new yet. I'm still really trying to whip down a bit, get my whip numbers down. But I do have an idea, I think. So when I'm ready to start that, I'll share that with you guys. But and then yeah, I guess my last weekly whip is the Anna Green Gable Cell. I'll put a picture of what it will look like when it's done. This is by Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts, who has a shop on Etsy. They may have a website too, I'm not sure. And they are sort of the creators of the Stitching Book Club. So this is one of the series, one of the patterns from the Stitching Book Club that was gifted to me by my friend Barb. And we're kind of stitching this together. So I'll put a picture of where it would have been the last time that you saw it. Ironically, I think I started this at the fall retreat 2 years ago. It's just coincidence that these have all been what I've been working on lately. So yeah, there's where I'm at now. So not a ton, but I sort of did a little bit more on some of the borders. I started a little bit of the blue in this one across the bottom. And I've started this full coverage, which is the same as this one down here. I just decided to stitch it using parking because it's a lot of stitches. It's full coverage. So I did decide to put the year in that the stitch along was hosted rather than when I finished it. I just thought I wanted to do that because then I would remember back to when it started and when Barb gifted me this. So, but yeah, still quite a bit to go, but it's a really fun stitch. The colors are so pretty. It's always fun to work on it. So I kind of wanted to keep working on it, to be honest, but I decided I would move on because there's lots of other things to stitch. So that's it for weekly whips. This is going to be a quick video because I don't really have a whole lot more to share. As far as haul goes, I didn't buy a whole lot. In fact, I haven't bought anything cross stitch. I did buy a little bit of fabric when I was at our retreat because there's some really good quilt shops around there. So I bought some to make some project bags and I bought some for finishing, but I'll share that with you when I do decide to make something with it. So yeah, I don't have any haul. So that leaves us with my plans, which again aren't terribly exciting, but I'm going to keep working on Weimaraner. So you can come back at the end of this month and find out if I manage to finish it before my sister's birthday or not. But I'm going to try. I'm going to get some work done on him. And then I'm going to keep working on my weekly whips. So the next ones that are coming up, Christmas Village by Prairie Schooler is the one I'm working on this week. And I did start working on it a little bit last night, but I'll just wait and share that with you at the end of the month. And then Bluebird Garden is another one that I am going to be pulling out this month. That one should be a finish. There's not a lot left to do on that, but yeah, so that should hopefully be a finish in October. And then Winter's Hush, which I love. It's another Dimensions kit that I will be working on. And then Morning Silence, which is another pattern I got off of Etsy that again is just really pretty, and I'm excited to get back to it. So I'm really excited about all the projects that are coming up in my whip list this month. So I can't really wait to get back to those. So hopefully I can get some stitching in this month, but we'll see how things go because you just never know how things are going to go. But yeah, that's really all that I have to share with you. So I know this is a pretty short video. I don't even know if I have much in the way of pet clips to put at the end. If I have any that I haven't included before, I'll put them in. If not, I'll try and get a few more next month to share. that with you. But thank you so much, everybody, for taking the time out of your day to stop by and visit and allow me to share my stitching with you. And I will see you hopefully at the end of October. Talk to you then. Bye.